Hey Mama, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby, and this is a space for real motherhood, mom life, parenting, pregnancy, postpartum, all of it. The beautiful parts and the messy parts. Today we're talking about something that a lot of moms think about, but not enough people talk about honestly: how to be a happy stay-at-home mom. Because being a stay-at-home mom can be one of the most meaningful roles you ever have, but it can also be lonely, emotionally draining, physically exhausting, and honestly confusing sometimes. And I want to say this right from the start: being a stay-at-home mom is not just staying home. It's a job. It's a role with responsibility, pressure, invisible labor, and emotional weight. And if you've ever felt guilty for struggling with it, or felt like you should be grateful and happy all the time, this video is for you. I'm going to walk through what makes this role so important, why it's sometimes so hard, and then give you practical ways to find happiness and purpose day to day, even if your life feels like it's currently a loop of laundry, snacks, tantrums, and mom. So let's get into it. Let's start with the honest truth. Being a stay-at-home mom is not easy. And I think a lot of moms become stay-at-home moms expecting it to be hard, but not in the way it ends up being hard. Because yes, it's physically tiring, but it's also mentally tiring. It's emotionally tiring. It's the kind of tired where you might not even know what you did all day, but your whole body feels like it ran a marathon. And sometimes it's lonely, because a lot of the day is just you and tiny humans who are adorable, but also not exactly great conversationalists. And some days can feel like a roller coaster. You can go from "this is the sweetest little life" to "I need 5 minutes alone in a quiet room" within the same hour. And that doesn't make you a bad mom. That makes you human. Now, moms become stay-at-home moms for different reasons. Some choose it because they can afford it and they want to. Some choose it because childcare costs more than their paycheck. Some choose it because of work schedules, special needs, postpartum, pregnancy, or family circumstances. However you got here, whether it was a dream decision or a forced decision, your role is still valuable. And I'm saying that because one of the biggest keys to being a happy stay-at-home mom is understanding the importance of what you're doing. If you don't see the value in it, you'll start to feel like you're doing nothing, and that is where resentment, guilt, and sadness creep in. So let's talk about why this role matters. One of the biggest benefits of being a stay-at-home mom is the bond you build with your kids. When you're home with them, you're not just seeing them in rushed moments before and after work. You're seeing them in the middle of their world. Notice the way their personality is forming. You notice what makes them light up. You catch the small details, the tiny phrases they say, the little routines they create, the silly games they invent. And you get the chance to be intentional. Not just "I'm present," but truly intentional. You can get to know your child deeply. And that relationship you build is something you carry for the rest of your life. Because kids grow up, schedules change, and time moves fast. But that bond, that matters. Another part of this role is that you have more oversight. And oversight doesn't mean control in an unhealthy way. It means awareness. You're able to notice patterns. You notice if your child is struggling emotionally. You notice if their behavior changes. You notice what foods affect them, what sleep routines help them, what environments overwhelm them. And you can respond faster. If something is off, morally, emotionally, physically, you can see it. And you can adjust. That kind of oversight can be a huge gift for kids, especially in the early years when their brains and nervous systems are developing rapidly. Another big one is that you get the chance to truly cherish your kid's childhood. You always hear moms say, "They're only little once." And honestly, it's cliche because it's true. There's something about being with your kids through the first steps, first words, first day of school, first time they say something funny that you'll never forget. And yes, being home also means you experience all the hard parts too. The tantrums, the whining, the nap refusals, the "I just cleaned this and now it's destroyed." But you also get the sweet parts in real time. The cuddles, the laughter, the small moments that feel ordinary, until you look back and realize those were the moments. And there's also this benefit that people don't talk about enough: more control over family routines. When you're a stay-at-home mom, you can shape the rhythm of your day. Not perfectly. Not like a Pinterest schedule with matching bins and color-coded charts. But you can build routines that work for your family. You can adjust them. You can test what makes mornings smoother, what makes evenings calmer, what makes bedtime easier. And routine is a big deal for kids and for moms, because routine reduces decision fatigue. And decision fatigue is one of the biggest reasons stay-at-home moms feel drained. Now let's address a question that stay-at-home moms hear constantly. What do you do all day? And just hearing that can make you want to scream. Because it's almost never asked with the respect it should be asked with. Even when someone means well, it can feel like they're implying you did nothing. And I want you to remember this: you don't owe anyone an explanation of your day. You don't have to justify your role. You don't have to prove that you worked, because you did. But if you ever want to respond in your head, or even out loud, here's a real list of what stay-at-home moms actually do all day. You pay bills. You manage the home. You do laundry. Load, unload, fold, put away, and repeat. You vacuum. You mop. You wipe crumbs. You cook. You meal plan. You clean again. You do school drop-offs and pickups. You do potty training. You do appointments. You handle sick kids. You handle the emotional needs of tiny humans. You read books, sometimes the same book 47 times. You play games that feel mindless but are actually building your child's brain. You do dishes. You load and unload the dishwasher. You change diapers. You dress kids. You break up fights. You manage naps. You crave naps. You function without naps. You research parenting things. You remember what everyone needs. You carry the mental load of the entire home. That's not nothing. That's a full-time role. Now, are stay-at-home moms happier? This is complicated. Because happiness isn't just about what you do. It's about your personality, your support system, your finances, your mental health, your marriage, your expectations, and your season of life. Some stay-at-home moms are very happy. Some are very unhappy. Some working moms are happier working. Some working moms wish they could stay home. And none of that makes anyone better. It's not a competition. Happiness depends on personal circumstances. But what we can do is talk about how to find happiness within the stay-at-home mom life if you are in it, whether you chose it or you didn't. So now let's talk about real ways to find happiness as a stay-at-home mom. The first big one is routine. And I know some moms hear routine and think, I can't even get through breakfast without chaos. But routine doesn't mean strict schedules. Routine means predictable anchors. It means you have a flow to the day that reduces stress. Because when every day feels random, it feels harder. But when the day has a rhythm, you feel more stable. So let me give you an example of a simple routine that doesn't require perfection. You wake up and you do one thing for yourself before the kids fully start. That could be brushing your teeth and washing your face. It could be making coffee and sitting for 3 minutes. It could be a quick prayer, a quick stretch, a journal line. Something that reminds you, you're a person too. Then you do breakfast. Then you do a morning reset. Something small like clearing dishes, starting laundry, or wiping the counters. Then you have an activity block where the kids play, you play with them a little, and you also do one home task. Then you do lunch. Then you do quiet time, nap time, or rest time. Then you do another reset. Then the afternoon is a mix of errands, outdoor time, playtime, and dinner. Then bedtime. That's it. Not fancy. But it gives you structure. And structure is calming. Routine creates motivation because you're not constantly figuring out what's next. It also helps kids, because kids thrive on predictability. And when kids feel secure, behavior tends to improve. Not always, but often. The next way to find happiness is goal setting. And this is where a lot of stay-at-home moms struggle, because their days feel like constant maintenance. You clean and it gets messy. You cook and they're hungry again. You fold laundry and there's more laundry. It can feel like nothing is ever done, so goals help you feel progress. Goals can be small daily goals. Today I'm going to run 1 load of laundry from start to finish. Today I'm going to take the kids outside for 20 minutes. Today I'm going to drink enough water. Today I'm going to clean the bathroom sink. Small goals give you wins, and those wins give you momentum. You can also set bigger goals. Maybe you want to start a side hustle. Maybe you want to get in shape. Maybe you want to declutter the house. Maybe you want to build a better bedtime routine. Those bigger goals give you something to look forward to. And having something to look forward to is one of the biggest happiness boosters. Even if the goal takes time, just working towards something gives you purpose. Now let's talk about one of my favorites. Counting your blessings. Because mom life can put you on autopilot. You wake up, do the same things, manage the same chaos, repeat. And you forget to notice what you're doing well. You forget to notice what you've built. You forget to notice what you have. And this isn't about toxic positivity. This isn't about pretending everything is fine. This is about grounding yourself in reality. Because even on hard days, there are still good things. There are still wins. There are still moments you would miss if you weren't paying attention. So blessing counting can look like this. At the end of the day, name 3 things that went well. Or write down 1 moment that made you smile. Or say out loud, "Today was hard, but we made it." That kind of perspective builds real joy over time. And the last big one is finding people who can relate. This is huge. Because isolation is one of the biggest threats to happiness as a stay-at-home mom. When you're home all day and your adult interaction is limited, your brain starts to feel starved. And when you're struggling, you can start to think, is it just me? Why does everyone else make this look easy? Why am I not enjoying this more? Am I failing? And usually the answer is, no, you're not failing. You're just doing something hard, alone. So finding people who get it can change everything. Other stay-at-home moms, mom groups, play groups, church groups, online communities, neighborhood friends. Even one person who understands you can make a difference. Because when you talk to someone who relates, you realize your difficulties aren't unique. Your frustrations are common. Your emotions are normal. And you can swap ideas, solutions, and encouragement. And I want to mention this too. Stay-at-home mom depression is real. If you've been feeling persistently sad, empty, numb, anxious, overwhelmed, or like you're not yourself, that matters. That deserves support. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It doesn't mean you're a bad mom. It means you're a human who may need more help, more rest, more community, or professional support. So please take care of your mental health, because you matter too. Now, I want to add something that isn't always said clearly. You can love your kids and still struggle with this role. You can be grateful and still feel exhausted. You can be blessed and still need a break. Both can be true. So if you've been feeling guilty for not enjoying every moment, I want you to release that. You're allowed to have mixed feelings. That's motherhood. Let's make this practical. If you're trying to be happier as a stay-at-home mom, here are a few things you can implement this week. First, pick 1 daily anchor. Just 1. Maybe it's a morning reset. Maybe it's quiet time. Maybe it's a 5-minute tidy before bed. 1 anchor creates stability. Second, set 1 daily goal that's realistic. Not, I'm going to deep clean the entire house. Something doable. Third, do 1 thing that fills you up, even if it's small. Music while you clean. A podcast. A phone call with a friend. A shower without rushing. Fourth, create a simple plan for tomorrow. Even just knowing what you'll cook or what activity you'll do helps. And fifth, find connection. Text a mom friend. Join a group. Say hi at the park. comment on a video, and actually chat with someone. Small connection matters. And I want to speak to the mom who became a stay-at-home mom, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. Maybe childcare costs were too high. Maybe your job didn't work anymore. Maybe life forced your hand. I want you to know you're allowed to grieve that. You're allowed to feel conflicted. You're allowed to miss your old life or your career identity. And you're still allowed to find purpose here, even if it wasn't the plan. Because purpose isn't only found in what you planned, it's also found in what you show up for. So let me ask you a few questions to reflect on, and you can answer these in the comments if you want. What part of being a stay-at-home mom is hardest for you right now? Is it the loneliness? The lack of appreciation? The routine? The mental load? The financial pressure? The lack of time for yourself? And what part of it is most meaningful? Is it being there for the firsts? Being able to slow down? Having that bond? Creating your family rhythm? Both answers can be true. And if you're considering becoming a stay-at-home mom, your biggest considerations might be finances, your identity, your mental health, your relationship, support system, how you'll structure the day, what boundaries you'll set. And those considerations are valid. Because becoming a stay-at-home mom is not just a lifestyle choice. It's a shift in identity. It's a shift in time. It's a shift in how you experience yourself. So thinking it through matters. Before we wrap up, I want you to remember this. You are doing work that matters. Even when it feels invisible. Even when it feels repetitive. Even when nobody claps for it. You are building a home. You are raising humans. You are shaping a childhood. And that is valuable. If you took something from this video, please like it. It helps more moms find it. Subscribe if you want more real mom life content. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing that helps you feel happier as a stay-at-home mom? Or if you're struggling, what's one area you want support in? You're not alone. I'll see you in the next one.